Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, today we're checking out the latest from the Kershaw Launch line. This is the Launch 18. Now, we talked about this. Somebody had brought up the 18 on SKL a few weeks ago. I don't know how many for sure. It's been a little bit, but at that time I hadn't seen the 18. I'd seen the 17. I'm like, oh my goodness. So got a hold of my good friends over at Blade Ops, and I was like, hey, is it possible to check out a Launch 18? They were like, absolutely. So shout out to Blade Ops for sending the 18 out to take a look at. I really, really, really appreciate it. But yes, indeed, this is the Launch 18. Got a full metal body. Now, you've kind of got that integrated backspacer, if you will. It's basically just milled into each scale, and then obviously when they're put together, you've kind of got that backspacer look to it, or yeah, backspacer look. Now, as far as a lanyard, I mean, you could probably put a lanyard there. It's a little bit wide, but I think it would fit okay. No real issues. I think you're going to have plenty of room. I'm just trying to get a good angle on it. Yeah, I think you would have room to get a lanyard in there if you so choose. Definitely a deep carry clip. I am liking that for sure. Love the deep carry clips, and it is reversible. So lefties, yes, very much so. Centering is dead on. Now, I have to admit, I've seen quite a few of the Launch series knives, and I mean, seen pictures of the ones I haven't had in hand, and to this point, this very well may be my favorite. Just aesthetics, action goes into it as well, but I'm really, really liking this. Now, of course, like I said, it is an auto. Your aluminum it's got a decent grip to it. Got kind of a blasted, washed, finished on that, which is really looks good. I like the finish of it. I mean, it's kind of subtle in that gray, but you get it in the light, and you can start to pull it out, and I really kind of dig that look. Now, this is one of my favorite aspects. This little sucker's snappy. I mean, it pretty much jumps out there. Just for instance, I do have one other Launch in my collection, the Launch 6. Now, just take a look at this spring. Take a listen. See how now it's an older knife too, so gotta take everything into consideration. This one's been around a while, but there's that one. Now that's a much larger knife, this 6 is. I don't know if the springs are the same size. I've never had them taken apart, so I wouldn't think they would use the same size springs. But as you can tell, the 18 is definitely more snappy than the 6 that I have is. I mean, it's got some nice pop to it. Loving the blade shape. You know, they call it, well, one place they call it a spear point, another place they call it a modified drop point. So, sure. However, you know, I kind of see it as, I mean, you could go either way. Whatever you want to call it, go ahead. Again, a nice stone wash on that blade. Auto Kershaw, of course. USA made. There's the flag right there. Of course, they let you know here as well. Made in the USA. CPM 154 steel on it. And it is a Kershaw in-house design. Just in case, you know, I've had people ask me, what does that emblem mean? That's exactly what it means. It's an in-house Kershaw design. So just in case you didn't know. If you did, well, you heard it again. But I really, really like that blade shape. Gives a nice, you do have kind of a flat spot a little bit for a landing pad for your thumb. You've got a little bit of jimping on there, but I mean, it's pretty much for looks. Let's be honest. Your choil, doggone. Your choil is back behind the plunge a little bit. Yeah, it is a little bit. So, I mean, maybe a little bit bigger. Choil on that for sharpening, so on and so forth. But no, it's not bad. But let's see. Overall, let's get a little bit go a little bit further back so we can get in here. Overall, we're looking at, if I just go to the handle and not include that the pocket clip, almost said paper clip, really? You're looking at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3/4. You've got almost a 4-inch handle, not quite. It is a little short, so your blade length is going to be just a little bit over 2 3/4. Your cutting edge, pretty much a full cutting edge. Point to point on your grip length, you're looking at about 3 1/4. Could you inch up a little bit? Absolutely. I mean, you could. You're not going to have anything keeping you off that blade. So if you're back in your normal grip, you're looking at about 3 1/4, which for me is still pretty good. Not too bad at all. Feels pretty darn good in hand. Get you a couple of size comparisons out of the way real quick. There is the PM2. Is it all on there? No. Now it is. So definitely the PM2. Much larger knife. Your bug out's going to be a little bit better size comparison. But even then, it's going to be just a little bit larger. So definitely a smaller auto, which I'm not opposed to the smaller knives at all. Get a weight on it. What do we got here? We have 2.3 ounces. Very lightweight. What's that in grams? 65. Goodness gracious. Pretty lightweight knife. That's another reason why I like it. Pocket clip. Now you see there, the ramp on that clip is not very, you don't have a great ramp on it. So it does have a little, kind of got to spread it out a little bit to get it down there. Does hide it pretty well. Go, oh, there we go. Get it all the way down there. It's pretty much gone. That's a pretty deep carry clip. The only thing about that is, like I said, it is just a little bit, I found myself having to help that clip out a little bit to get it in the pocket. So, ramp's not great. Could it be a little bit better? Let's see what it is on the, well, we got an entirely different clip on the 6, so obviously there's more ramp on that one. But yeah, it's not, I mean, could you feather that a little bit? Sure, you probably could. Make it work a little bit better if you wanted to. Overall, yeah, this might be my favorite. Now, it looks similar to a few of the other, couple of the other launch series. Oh, and of course, it's slipping my mind. But one of the launch, it looks very similar to this, only it's got the big hole in the handle. Again, of course, it's escaping me. I like the look of it. I'm just not crazy about the huge hole in the blade. Or in the handle, excuse me. So this one takes that aspect out of it. The Launch 18, definitely digging it. It's a good size. I like the size of it. Like I said, it's smaller, so those of you with larger hands might not like it as much, because obviously, let's get the 6 back out there. The 6 is a much larger knife by a long shot. I mean, scoot it back there, get it all on the screen. Definitely a much larger knife. And this one I do like as well. Obviously, the red aluminum. The red and black combo. I'm digging it. But as far as size, carry, and just all around, I would definitely have to say the 18 is probably my favorite of the launch series so far. Now, the one other thing I wanted to, and it all has to do with that pocket clip, it does stand up pretty high, and it is smaller in stature, so I can feel it back here maybe just a little bit more than I want to. Is it a hot spot? You know, after a while, it might be. It could be. Now, if you have a much larger hand than I do, that may be taken out of the equation for you. You know, my buddy Johnny, he didn't get to see this one. He had surgery this past week, so I wasn't able to get this one in his hand because he has a larger hand than I do, and I do a lot of pocket clip comparisons with him. So wasn't able to do that, but in my hand, I can feel it just a little bit more than I want to. So put that out there. Other than that, I am. I'm digging it. I'm willing. Now, again, autos, not necessarily legal to carry here. But, and I don't carry them often. I usually, if I carry it, it's around the house, around home. But they might make it on trips with me. I forget. It's like, okay. But anyway, as long as you're not being dumb with it, come on now. But overall, not too bad. I'm really, really liking the 18. It's, like I said, it is probably my favorite out of the launch series so far. Who knows, the 19, the 20, something may come along to change my mind. But as of right now, I think this one's got that tag for sure. So really appreciate Blade Ops, Andy, sending this one out. Thank you so very much. Thank you guys for stopping by. But I didn't tell you what it costs. I can't say that yet. I can say thank you to Blade Ops. These guys are selling for like 120 bucks. That is pretty good. Materials, USA made auto knife. I think that's a pretty darn good price. What bums me out is, Kershaw, they can make a USA made auto and charge a pretty reasonable price for it, but yet they make knives overseas with 8CR and stuff, and they're, priced a little bit above, in my opinion. This has been my heartache with Kershaw and CRKT both for a long time. Above what I believe the price point should be. So, I don't know. Maybe I would love to see more USA-made Kershaws. Non-autos, of course. Just regular, flippers, thumb studs, whatever. Holes, whatever you guys like. And use a little bit better steel. I'm not going to say they don't use bad steels. 8CR13, not the greatest out there by a long shot. But I think their price points are a little high for 8CR13. Just my opinion. Kershaw lovers, you can yell at me if you want to. But I would love to see more USA-made non-auto knives coming out of Kershaw using a little bit higher grade steel at a reasonable price point. There, I think that's about the best way I can say it. But, all right. Thanks a lot, guys. Greatly appreciate you stopping by. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.